this is just moments ago. That's Guillermo Martinez, the coach for the Blue Jays, who rarely, as far as I am aware, Tabby, brings out the lineup card. He shakes Doug Eddings' hand. Eddings is at third today. He had the plate last night. And the strike zone, as everybody who watched the game knows, just was all over the place. And somebody, although that wasn't Eddings, I think that was the first base ump, Lance Barrett, who made the signal. And then Guillermo Martinez gets into it with Eddings. And unless that whole thing was fun and games, and we don't think it was, Guillermo Martinez is gone.
This afternoon. Here's a 2-2. And that is definitely a ball, full count. Oh no, they're going to. Well, so much for that. He went. That is amazing. Jerry Meals on the appeal said no, that is strike 3.
Home plate umpire Jansen Visconti. Did he just throw somebody out? Wow, AJ Hinch just got tossed. Wow, he is hot. We haven't seen him this hot. I think the home plate umpire Jansen Visconti might have thrown somebody out, but he was walking toward that Tigers dugout, having some words with someone in the dugout, and that got AJ Hinch upset. He came out and he really let him have it, and it wasn't very long before Jansen Visconti tossed AJ Hinch.
Has busted it open with a big inning, a walk, 2 singles, and a home run. And Cora's going to get thrown out of the game. Alex Cora is going to run on that. Remembering, too, that although it was Welke who made the call, it was upheld in New Jersey. But the umpire's watching it on video, so the umpires have to make a call.
See, I think why he's so mad is because the third base umpire, Gabe Morales, called it fair but not a home run initially.
Correct.
And Welke overturned it. How can he overturn it that far away?
So in the end, 3-run homer by Salvador Perez, and Alex Cora is tossed out of the game.
Houck deals. There's a strike. Check swing by Matt, but still called a strike by DJ Rayburn. And here we go. He's saying that was not a strike. I didn't see him throw him out, but you can't argue balls and strikes, so he's obviously been thrown out. Yes, he has. He has been thrown out. And he is getting his money's worth. He has been angry at the strike zone, especially the low strike that's called on Judge, and then Matt Carpenter just took a called strike 1. Jim Reynolds trying to break this up. But Boone trying to get his point across to DJ Rayburn, who's just trying to walk away. Suspended.
You know, Michael, I can only hope now, and this changes the count.
And there he is, very casual toss.
The 1-2. Check swing, appeal to first. Didn't go, says Marvin Hudson.
Yeah, when Horner chases a ball out of the zone, he still makes contact 70% of the time.
Wow. 2-2 here. Check swing.
I think Ross is making a case that Kraska's balking out there. Thought maybe they were arguing about the home plate umpire about balking strikes, but obviously Rossi was lobbying Tom Payne for a balk call there.
The strike call on strike 2. He grounds out, walks off the field, jogging off the field. Home plate umpire Mark Rippiger's listening to him. Garrett says whatever he says, and then he gets thrown out. And then very soon after, you see Don Mattingly come out, and now he gets his 2 cents in. And with some of the mannerisms here of what Donnie's saying is, Coop was way over there, and you're way over here, and you're listening to what he's saying, and then you get mad.
Not only that, the home plate umpire, the entire time that Coop was running back toward the dugout, he was looking at Coop and pointing with his helmet, with his mask in his hand, toward the Marlins dugout, like, get.
The old trick elbow.
Christian Yelich just got thrown out. Craig Counsell is coming out to argue. Christian Yelich was barking a little bit after he got called out on the last couple of at-bats on pitches that are down in the zone. And Yelich is going to go get a little piece of Jerry Meals too. And Craig Counsell is trying to protect Christian Yelich.
From a suspension, he's already been thrown out. Christian Yelich didn't like that last call that Jerry Meals rung him up on, very similar to the last pitch that Woodruff threw that was called a ball.
And now Craig just got tossed out by Jerry Meals as he was trying to protect Christian Yelich. Been a tough day for the strike zone for Jerry Meals. That low strike has been awfully in.
Strike 3 called on the outside corner. And that was right there. Strong inning for Harleen Garcia. Now, I don't know what was just happening here. Some words were exchanged. Umpires are over there with Gabe Kapler, and Gabe Kapler has just been thrown out of the game. The umpires started coming after Harleen Garcia, and Gabe Kapler came up out of the dugout to defend Garcia, and now he's just furious.
Ball hit the net. It's a foul ball.
Wow.
Minnesota
Bob Melvin comes right out of the dugout.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure he can't do this. You cannot argue, and that's what they're telling him. He started out there, and they said, nope, you can't come out after it's been reviewed and argue. And he's been tossed. Jerry Lane.
You've already been tossed, so give him an earful, right? I mean, I don't understand what they saw and we didn't, unless they have a different angle on something. But I think clearly.
There is Brandon Hyde in heated discussion with a couple of the umpires. This is Alfonso Marquez, the crew chief. Brandon was just right in the face of the plate umpire, Ramon De Jesus. We are not sure what this is about in between innings. The third inning ended with a Mateo walk, the Mullins double, and the Hayes lineout. Brandon Hyde is still talking to Alfonso Marquez.
Yeah, and home plate umpire De Jesus is as surprised about it as we are.
Brandon is still talking and trying to get at Ramon De Jesus, and he has to be pushed toward the dugout by Marquez. So we did not see the beginning of this, but obviously Brandon Hyde has been ejected from this game.
He got ejected as he came out, assuredly arguing about the strike call of Reynolds. There was also a strike call against Pham. Each struck out looking. It had once been a bigger zone on the day, and I also think David Bell showing his team that he's got their backs.
I think that's the main message there for David Bell, and that's one thing that you can never take away from Bell. He's always got his players' backs. And I would imagine that Gabe Kapler in the Giants dugout is thinking, well, thank you, David, because
McNeil on the outfield grass at second. Pitch to Jazz, called strike 3 on a pitch that was 6 inches off the plate.
I've never seen Jazz that animated. Strike zone today for Adam Beck has been terrible, though. It really has been.
And Jazz just got run. And now here comes Donnie.
Yeah, you don't want him to get suspended.
And Jazz definitely had a case right there. That was inside by a pretty wide margin.
Donnie might get run too.
Crew chief Alan Porter trying to help Jazz calm himself down.
And now somebody in the Yankee dugout has been thrown out of the game by home plate umpire Jerry Lane. So here comes Boone, who's not animated. I'm not sure who got thrown out. So that is the hitting coach, Dylan Lawson. And for him to come out while Boone is speaking, that means that it was Lawson who was thrown out.
You know, at the beginning of the broadcast, I told you I like Jerry Lane, but I don't think umpires have any reason to be listening to the dugout.
He hit great pitching. There's a ground ball on the right side. There's no one there. They come home. And the ball gets away. No. Why? They're saying out of the tag. You're allowed to avoid the tag. there.
He would have destroyed the ball.
And he gets Farmer. Remember, Farmer took a pitch off the bat, just up his hands off the handle, and this is a terrible sign.
Situation, you only hope that it gets the meaty part of the back of the hand.
And he's been tossed by Tripp Gibson. Well, Bell's second ejection of the season, and he's getting his money's worth.
It's like he's arguing balls and strikes and standing up for his players. A couple of pitches we mentioned earlier looked like they were off the plate. And I think it was David Bell's opportunity to tell Tripp Gibson about the fact that he called some pitches off the plate. Strikes.
Freddie Benavides has to physically intercede. Bell's bench coach, who will be managing the rest of the way.
Here in the bottom of the 6th. First pitch. Oh, should have been a strike. Called the ball. If the pitch to Seth Brown was a strike, Seth Brown is over there. I just saw him put up his hand like, what?
Yep.
That was, and they just threw somebody out. Somebody from the dugout just got thrown out. Mark Kotze is going to come out. Chris Siegel is the home plate umpire, and if you, the pitch to Seth Brown that he got called out on was less of a strike than pitch that Julio Rodriguez just got called as a ball. So Chris Siegel
around Sandy, wishing him well on his way to LA.
Called strike 3. Aguilar. Like a jovial conversation between he and Ron Culpa.
Ball came back just a little. Nola's face 4. He struck out 4.
And I think Aguilar just got thrown out of the ball game. It started with some it's usually here for Aggie. I think he was just trying to figure out where the pitch was. You know, and you know this. You've had a million of these conversations. Where's that pitch? Is it up, down, in, out, whatever it is?
Yeah.
And I don't think he got the answer that he wanted.
Top, right exactly where they're going. I hope it's not on cue. Ooh, that could have been down. Come on.
Happ didn't like the call from John Tumpane right there. And Ian Happ's been ejected, and David Ross has ejected the headset.
It's interesting. Rossi was ejected early in game 1 of this doubleheader. Buck Showalter had words with the home plate umpire. I mean, you don't know, right, unless you know exactly what's being said down there. But it seems to me like these guys have been really quick to react.
Yes.
2 on, 2 out. And now a back pick to second. So they're really what? And the inning is over. And Mike Matheny got thrown out by home plate umpire John Bacon while he was in the dugout. And he came back out and got his money's worth.
Now, you know, you could see Massey's body was over home plate, and actually Jansen, the catcher, he double clutched. Had nothing to do with contact or anything, but that made it appear that he was in.
Got him.
And then when you're starting, when umpires, like everyone else,
did VR just get run from the game, or is he? Because if he didn't, he's getting away with a lot of face-to-face contact. I think they ran him. I think he's been ejected from the game.
It's supposed to be automatic when you complain about a ball and a strike called.
Yeah, it's been a frustrating night for Jonathan. Wow, that didn't take much.
That was just the right word to say, and that was a quick one.
That's not. I don't know that that's a show-up.
Call 3rd strike, bottom of the zone. Maldonado didn't like the call. It looked like it may have been at the knees for a call 3rd strike, first out of the inning. And somebody just got tossed. That might have been Dusty Baker. It's been a frustrating day. We saw a 3-0 pitch.
Trying to protect his players and make sure that zone's being called both ways, because you're right. It seems like throughout the course of the season we have seen some portion of it from the side. It doesn't look like a strike.
Dusty, who used to manage across the bay here, will have the rest of.
He checks. They call a strike. What? Now the home plate umpire just called that a strike.
I thought he was checking with Tom Hallion.
Because Hallion said he didn't go, right?
Yeah.
Julio asking what the count is? 3-2.
I think so, yeah. He's a bit confused also about it. I don't blame him.
Yeah, it shouldn't be 3-2. Should it?
He called it a strike. It was 2-1.
Yes.
He called it a strike. Hallion was giving him help because he thought he was asking for help.
That made it
when he really called it a strike. And that's what Scott's arguing with. You asked for help, and Tom Hallion said no, it was not a swing. Thinking it.
Oh,
wow.
It's time.
We've seen that before.
It's time to pick on someone else. It's time. And Scott's letting him hear it.
Yeah.
Now, is this a couple of factors here between the location and of that last pitch plus what happened before?
Well, for one, Scott can see that those other two pitches were up out of the zone, right? You can't always tell if it's on the corner or not, but you can tell that pitch is high. The other thing is this is something that I could see coming also because of what's been happening to Julio. I thought the first time that he would get thrown out of a game would be because of one of Julio's at bats, and right now I think he's had enough. And then you throw the confusion on the check swing, and Hallion calling it a no swing, but the home plate umpire calling it a strike, and you can.
Here it comes. Called strike 3, and Schwarber is thrown out of the game, and he had zero issue with getting thrown out, making it very clear. You've missed him inside, outside, up and down. Kyle Schwarber thrown out after being punched out by Angel Hernandez. And Joe may go too. Schwarber is speaking for both sides tonight. We saw a lot of those demonstrations, none like that, but we certainly saw them as the players were going back to the bench.
Oh, boy. I mean, that one's further away than no, it's a ball, but it's been called a strike. That one's 4 or 5 inches outside.
Yeah, and you can see but Gurriel looked like he took a close pitch that was off the plate then.
And Charlie just got tossed. Yeah. And you know what? You can't blame Charlie. It's been going on the whole game. Charlie's eyes don't bulge like that very often at all, but it's been going on the whole game.
Yeah, and the Blue Jays have not been very happy with the strike zone of Jeff Nelson, the crew chief.
Check swing foul. And I don't know, Max is claiming catcher's interference. He checked his swing. Or maybe just claiming he didn't make contact with it. And here comes Rocco Baldelli. There was an audible sound, but I wonder whether Max didn't feel like he
been over the strike zone. And he's right, he wasn't even close to that ball. That was good.
And instead it's a strike to Kepler, and there he goes.
But also the difference, Polanco's still at first base. If that's not a foul ball, he advances to second base. Rocco's right, you can't miss that call. You cannot miss that call. A ball that's that far away from a bat. And I think the frustration with the strike zone earlier in the game, some of the calls, maybe the call on the Buxton at bat.
The crew chief is Jim Reynolds, and he's doing his best to keep Rocco away from Alex Tosi. But again,
and he did go, says plate umpire Vic Carapazza. And Choi not happy about that. And the Rays bench not happy.
Well, Kevin Cash, he is, well, there you go.
Has just been ejected. Kevin Cash fired up here.
Remember the Astros on their bench, Dallas, they got Michael Brantley, Yuri Gurriel, a couple of regulars, one a left-handed hitter, one a right-handed hitter, and somebody just got thrown out. It was Mark Kotsay. Mark Kotsay just got thrown out by Mike Malinsky, who seems to be the owner of a little bit of a short fuse. So Mike Malinsky went out to the mound to break up the meeting, and he throws out Mark Kotsay. Well, sometimes you see an umpire that just gets a little overzealous, in my opinion.
That was as demonstrative as we've ever seen Zach Gallen on the mound with an umpire right there. And John Lipka walking out to the mound. Jose Herrera has to get in front of him. And here comes Torey Lovullo, and Lovullo's been ejected. Torey's saying exactly what he should be saying. You're walking out toward the mound to talk to my pitcher. What do you expect? Herrera had to get in front of Lipka that time, and now Torey has been tossed. There's the crew chief, Jim Reynolds. Obviously heard something and walked out toward the mound at Zach Gallen.
See, there's no reason for that from John Lipka. I mean, Zach Gallen may have said something, but he didn't leave the dirt part of the mound. He got the throwback from Herrera, turned his back on home plate, and Lipka was the one who tried to initiate contact.
Look out. And Wisdom gets hit. And now David Ross is going to come out. David Ross has been ejected.
Oh, strike 3 call. Choi thought he had drawn the walk. He was set to head to first. And Kevin Cash is coming out. And Choi not happy. Bill Welke called him out on strikes. And I did not see that Choi had been run. But Kevin's out there to pick up the argument in any case.
Anyway, and Garrett was just thrown out by second base umpire Ramon de Jesus.
Broken bat. Base hit into center field. Schwarber's going to score. Hoskins is around third, heading for home. The throw to the plate. He is out at home plate.
Game here because there's the other school of thought that this was interference by the base runner such that the defender could not make the play.
Well, now Davey is going to go back because he's been ejected from the ball game. So he's been ejected because he did not like the call.
Well, he's still going after him.
So they call obstruction on this, and Davey and Dan Iasonia are still going at it.
Well, they really, someone of the coaches should probably get him out.
Somebody should go out and just get him out because he's already said his piece.
It's a challenge.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah, Bo gets buzzed. And now the Blue Jay dugout is angry again. John Schneider's yelling. Charlie Montoyo's yelling. Lance Barrett just threw somebody else out. Charlie's gone.
Better get your money's worth right here. Explanation. And Corey Blazer out to break up this meeting. That's why I said when White was carrying the bat with him, he had his head down. He didn't want to look at first base. If he'd been rung up, I don't think he would have argued. And Rick Kranitz with a parting shot or two. And he just got thrown out. You can't argue balls and strikes. That's grounds for automatic ejection. And you could read Cranny's lips. He said he did not argue that. And he is getting his money's worth here.
Springer at second, 2 down. And again the 1-2. And a fastball gets him for strike 3 call. Vladdy really unhappy with that one. But that one did appear to have the bottom of the zone. Did Vladdy get tossed? Charlie is out arguing, and now Charlie is gone. And we know Charlie is gone.
I think he was just pointing to him after he slammed the bat, and Charlie hustled out there so his slugger wouldn't be thrown out. And Charlie took that one for Vladdy.
And now a pickoff, and they've got Witt trapped between second and third, running him down. And he's going to be out. He slid past the bag. His momentum carried him past the bag. And LeMahieu was able to make the tag. But Witt was outrunning him. I don't know why they didn't throw the ball to third. You don't chase the guy toward. Manny Gonzalez is the third base umpire. So Witt had generated some pretty good speed. And Mike Matheny just got thrown out. And now.
Oh, strike 3 call. And Arozarena flipping the bat. And he has been flipped. Ejected by Junior Valentine. Well, that was a quick reaction as Arozarena not happy over the call. You saw the bat flip, and just as quickly Valentine went up with the arm to eject him.
Couple of checks to the runner, and the 0-1. And that hit the batter. They appealed down to first, and Ryan Wills said he didn't swing. And the Blue Jays are livid because the swing overrides the hit by pitch. And somebody just got tossed. Maybe John Schneider or Charlie or somebody just got tossed. And you can understand the frustration, again, because of all the calls here this inning.
Yeah, you called them the 50-50 calls, and you're absolutely right. That was a swing. You could hear Alek Manoah yelling at the umpire. That was a swing.
Yeah.
And it looked like a swing. Ball hit him.
But again, the swing.
That hit him.
What's Ty saying?
I'm not sure.
I'm just saying it didn't hit him. And now the Astros dugout just exploded. And now both sides are getting into it. Here we go. Now Scott Servais, one of the first to spill out. That escalated quickly. Now somebody said something.
I think what Ty was doing is he said that it hit him. The umpire said it didn't, and then Ty looked at the dugout and wanted Scott to take a look at it.
Are we clear on whether or not that was ruled a hit by pitch or not?
I don't think it was. I think Ty thought it hit him. He turned around to the dugout and gave it one of these to his ear.
That would make sense.
And then so Scott was saying something, and I think the other dugout, you can see it hit him. I mean, it's going, and Scott.
And now Scott's being talked to.
I think they said they're throwing him out.
They've thrown Scott out.
That's what he was looking at, pointing like you have to go.
And now they've thrown somebody out over there. Correct?
Yes. I thought Jordan Baker, the first base umpire, he was over towards the Houston dugout, and he was the one that was talking to some of the Houston people. And my impression of that was that he was telling them, because stuff was going on, that he was letting them know who was going to go or not.
That was Omar Lopez, one of the base coaches for the Astros. Watch out. Now, come on now. Crawford is into second. Now, what's going to be assessed here?
Yeah, I mean, what do we have going on? Chris Guccione, the home plate umpire.
I mean, he's got to be out, right?
I would think so.
You got to run Neris now.
I would hope that after the first time a tie was hit that everybody was warned. That's an automatic.
Neris has to be out of this game. And he is.
There you go.
Yeah. Now, come on, man. Don't go palms up on that. Yeah, he said you have to. You have to. That's the way the rules work. I mean, that was at the head. Behind him and at his head.
Yeah, that's what he's telling him, too. I wouldn't even waste time explaining it to him.
I mean, Dusty knows.
Yeah, that's okay. That's enough.
Let's go, man.
Somebody just got thrown out, and it's Aaron Boone. And Rizzo is also coming out, so he's arguing over one of the calls. So either Rizzo or Boone got thrown out. And the fact that Rizzo's out there arguing it was probably him because he'd be thrown out automatically. Manny Gonzalez pointed to the dugout and said, "You're gone," and Boone jumped out and then followed by Anthony Rizzo. I think Rizzo's saying, "I wasn't saying anything."
He's also looking at Manny saying, "You know me, Manny. I'm not that guy." And Rizzo, you know, he isn't a disrespectful player by any means. So to see him run out right there and defend himself, I totally understand it.
Calhoun walked him. Bases are loaded. Joe Madden coming out of the Angels dugout. Joe Madden has been thrown out of the ball game. While we were at commercial break, Madden was at the mound. He took some time with Suarez. Buckner, CB Buckner, comes out, Mark, to say, "Hey, time's up." And then Madden had some words with him like, "Hey, you missed that strike 3 call, I think on that high fastball 2-2. And then Buckner throws him out of the game.
2-2. Did he go? No swing, full count.
Well, this will be interesting from the low third base angle. Dave Roberts, oh my.
Larry Vanover, who had a rough night behind the plate last night. Dave Roberts convinced that he just blew another. Why, Dave went out and got his money's worth. So instead of 1 away, a full count.
Curveball hits sharply on one hop, diving, stops Segura, scrambles to his knee, throws a one hopper, and the ball is kicked out of the glove of Hoskins, and a run will score. And Reese is running back toward the bag. Yeah, he's out there. Yeah, he's out. And he had it long enough.
Yes, he did. Did it matter? Did his foot stay on the bag?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it is. When he said it's not reviewable. Because it is reviewable on a play like that. Now, Joe's been thrown out of the ball game.
It's a legitimate beef.
It's definitely legitimate beef. I think Bill Miller did a little instigation there.
Sure did.
Two on its way. Strike 3 call. AJ just got tossed. AJ's trying to stay in between Baez and home plate umpire Nick Marlin.
Well, it's just a manager sticking up for his players for sure. AJ has to get in there. There's
unfortunately, been a couple times where Tigers feel like they had strikes that weren't called for our pitchers, and a couple close pitches there. I'm not sure that was
fun to begin the year before Pete took him the other way. And Dom did not think that was a strike.
Wait, did he call that a strike? I thought he called that a ball.
No, called it strike 3.
Wow. I don't blame Dom. He's having a tough time back there. That ball wasn't even really very close.
Meanwhile, Max Scherzer doing some barking at the home plate umpire. Sure, he doesn't have to pitch in this series. He can bark all he wants.
I don't think he cares. He's intense, protecting his teammates.
And we just found out that Max Scherzer was ejected. That's why he was
in the ground. They're looking for help here. There's Barnhart saying he caught it. Home plate umpire said it hit the dirt.
He doesn't have to ask for help, and he's not asking.
Yeah, he wants to meet. He wanted to look at the ball to see if there's any dirt on it. Now he's going to try and get some help. Let's see right here on this replay.
That was clearly caught.
Yeah, it was. Yes, it was. It looked like it. We'll see if he sees it. He caught it deep. Yeah, he was out.
Here comes Tito, and he's going to.
Yeah, oh, that's.
He's been mad since the first inning of this game.
Brian Snitker ejected for the first time this year, arguing balls and strikes. Austin Riley called out on a pitch that was out of the strike zone to end the Braves' third inning.
Brian Snitker ejected, arguing balls and strikes with home plate umpire Will Little. And it has been a very inconsistent strike zone for Will Little here in the first 3 innings of the ball game.
1-1. Here we go.
I would think, John, that he's been thrown out because he can't argue balls and strikes, so he's going to get his money's worth now.
And if you miss that spot, my goodness. Wow. That's called a strike. Arenado thought that was a ball. Brad, you win. But I agree with you. I thought it'd be Ollie too.
Go pick up a lottery ticket as well.
All on that ejection. Some of your best work this weekend.
Something you just know's coming, you know?
Scoring position. Things got to go your way, but he's been consistent.
Not sure what we're checking out here. On Culple, the crew chief, going down to John Tumping, the first base umpire. Did this ball hit him?
Maybe Jimenez said to the dugout that it did. Possibly could have, but as it skips by, maybe off the top of the shoe. Is he asking for a review, or does he have to make a challenge?
I think he did, but they're not allowing it. Wow. I'll tell you what, I have never seen Tito lose his cool like this. He is incensed.
Checks the swing, appeal, he wins.
David Bell didn't like that at all. He's coming out of the dugout now, and he's giving Jeff Nelson an earful. And now he wants to go down to first base and talk to Manny Gonzalez.
David Bell is irate. Cubs series in Wrigley. I believe that also came on the heels of a Barrero event.
I don't think that he's been ejected yet, has he?
I did not see that signal.
I didn't see it either, and I have to say that Jeff Nelson has given him quite a long rope.
Did he go?
Yeah, remember the rule book says nothing about crossing the plane of the plate or breaking your wrist. It's a judgment call on the part of the umpire. Did he attempt to hit the pitch, period.
A called third strike. They got to get Arenado out of there. Now it's too late. He's been ejected.
Made it 4-3 at that point in time. Ball outside. That was his, and a balk. Okay.
Be careful, Richard.
Richard not in love with the balk call by first base umpire John Tumpain. He said that's a set.
Not up like that. That's a tough pitch to catch.
And now another balk. Oh boy. Wow. Blyer's going to lose it here.
Yeah.
And now Donnie's out to defend Richard Blyer. Lewin Diaz playing a little defense on Blyer as well.
Well, this is a good job of Donnie coming out to de-escalate the situation. The first one I thought was a balk. We'll see how this one looks. I mean, I thought that one.
He balks of his career, and now Donnie is losing it. And he just got thrown out of the game. And here comes the first base umpire, John Tumpain, who made all three of those balk calls.
Yeah, get your money's worth right here. You got 9 games left. Let it fly. He's still protecting his guys. He knows that he's... At this point, it's almost like Tumpain's just trying to make a point.
To ground out and end the inning after balking, and now he's been thrown out of the game. After balking McNeil to second, third, and home, and Blyer's got words for the home plate umpire now as well.
Yeah, well, he's telling them, I've had 3 balks in my entire career.
We're going to step aside, and if anything else happens, we'll tidy that up for you when we come back.
Immediate ejection.
Yeah, he was thrown out. That's
sinker wasn't there, all over the place, and once that elbow.
Looks like Boone's going to get thrown out. He's still arguing about Andujar. I'll give him credit. Moscoso is giving him some time. You're not supposed to argue balls and strikes. Andy Fletcher, the crew chief, separates him and says, all right, go back to the dugout. They gave him a lot of room there, Jeff. Looks like he's trying to get thrown out. Unless he has been thrown out already, because there's no...
Oh, no. No, yeah. And JP, he just got fined. That's what that point is for. Well, that was not a strike. You can understand JP's frustration. And JP just got run. And now he's going back for more. Somebody's better get out there. Here comes Scott. And he's picking up the pace. Manny Acta is there also. And that was a bad call. And JP understandably frustrated. Not just by that call, you'd have to imagine.
Now here comes Tepera coming in there. He wants to know if it was a strike then.
Oh, now Ron Copa is at his wit's end. Well, don't you just wish they were all mic'd up?
He's trying to get a few extra throws in. That's what the part of it is.
He's saying if I'm going to wait that long, I should be able to throw. She hasn't thrown anything.
Oh, and now Nevin is tossed.
Here's a 2-2. And that is in there for strike 3. And Xander is upset. Here comes Cora out of the ball game. Well, it's rare to see Bogey that upset and like flip the bat. Upset indeed as he is called out on strike 3.
I mean, that is wildly out of character for Bogarts.
Who has doubled tonight but struck out looking twice. And Derek Shelton's been ejected by Edwin Moscoso. He has been hot all night after with the 3 umpires tonight. And Ron Culpa, the crew chief, came sprinting from first base. Yeah, he's pointing at second base. Took the bat out of my guy's hands.
Yeah, and once again, yeah, he's upset because we talked about it earlier. When you don't have that 4th umpire, you don't usually.
Hit him up high. And they're loaded up. For Abreu, the infield will have to come in and the outfield will have to come in. And now here we go again. Pretty much the same thing we had at Houston. Vaughn just walked to first, had something to say. Lopez responded. Well, we're a little bit in more close contact here than we were in Houston. Rocco Baldelli jawing with Miguel Cairo, the acting manager. And Rocco's right in the middle of this.
Yeah, Rocco didn't waste any time getting out there. Gary Sanchez was trying to cool things down. He ran right out to Jorge Lopez. And
you leave everybody in. They're warning both benches, but that's at this point that won't come to too much. But a warning has been issued to both benches.
Now here comes Miguel, and he'll chat with the home plate umpire.
And are they saying they're throwing out Miguel Cairo?
I think so. And yeah, Lopez was immediately, he didn't.
The curve is in there. Strike 3 called, and Winker doesn't like it. A curveball at the top of the zone. Karinchak is thrilled. He leaps toward the dugout. Bieber's loving it. And Winker's just been thrown out of the game. Scott Service now in the face of Dan Merzel. The home plate umpire. Winker's been ejected. He struck out a high curveball to win the 8th. Now Service pleading with the home plate umpire as well. Scott Service getting animated. He's been thrown out.
There he goes. It's taken, the throw down. It's going to be a strikeout according to the home plate umpire. Reynolds can't believe it. They will not challenge. It's a stolen base. But Shelton is furious, and he just got thrown out because you could see that did not look like a strike to Reynolds. And you think it's a swinging strike appeal.
Yeah, I think that's what Derek Shelton's arguing right there. There's no harm in asking for help. Ask for help from the first base umpire. Just get him to – he's got a better angle on the check swing, and the pitch was nowhere near the strike zone.
Furious at Clint Vaughn. Reynolds swung or not. The crew chief, because Conroy is making sure he leaves.
When he speaks, also very eloquent young man, very bright young man. Marte takes strike 1 against Justin Lawrence, and he just got tossed at the plate.
As soon as he threw up the 2 fingers, like that's the second time you've called the pitch down there, that's an automatic ejection. I mean, Hunter Wendelstadt's not going to put up with that. But he's going to throw out Torrey, too.
Well, there goes Torrey. He got Brendan Rodgers last night. That's 3 in 2 nights.
He just said you're better than that.
So Marte at the plate. Didn't like this strike call.
No,
he didn't like one earlier. He thought that was low.
So watch him throw the 2 fingers up. This is what gets him right there.
Yeah.
So you've made that call. I mean, that's one of the first things you learn in pro ball is you can't do that to the umpire, right?
I think, and I'm trying to read lips, which are terrible, but